One, two, three, start. Hello everyone, oh my god. Welcome to another episode of Let's Try to Play for Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be trying to play the new hero, relatively new, Lieutenant Morales. And we got a game, so nice. Sort of. So, this is the second StarCraft 2 character that is support. The first one being Tassadar. Now, there's still no melee, or warrior, I should say. That's going to be added in with, I believe, Artanis, and you can get early access to that if you pre-purchase Legacy of the Void. I got the Collector's Edition, and apparently I will have to wait till like the 20th or something of October before I can get my hands on him. And that's if I contact Blizzard support. So, yeah, I hope I can get a video on that. If not, it'll be just release day when he comes out, because I pre-ordered the game. But anyway, so, Lieutenant Morales. This video has been a little bit more delayed than normal videos, mainly because of how she functions. So, I do a lot of solo queue in this game, right? Lieutenant Morales is probably the worst hero you can do solo queue with. Horrible, because she is so dependent on coordination and teamwork. It's really bad, and I've been trying to, like, figure out how to do this video otherwise. I'm just gonna give you the pros and cons, like, from what I've done with, like, when I play with friends and when I've played with solo queue, because it's just a huge, like, I can't really do it with a friend. Like, I would love to do it with a friend to tell you, but they're not really experienced in, you know, how YouTube works. They're very casual gamers, but they do at least play Heroes of the Storm. You know, we'll be just talking over each other and yelling crap out, and they'll be eating food in the background, even though if I try to tell them not to, it's a very hard thing to manage. So, I'm just going to bring you a game of solo queue, and we're just going to try to just do this. So, Lieutenant Morales, support, healer. As you would imagine, she's a medic. So, I believe they changed the medic voice actor from StarCraft 2, so it's a different person, I believe. Blizzard really needs to start, just, like, giving more credit to voice actors. Like, there's a reason why there's now a voice actor strike in the video game industry. As the time of the recording, people are, like, voice actors are now just silencing themselves in order to get better benefits. Like, you wonder why. Like, I can't even find the names of my favorite characters in a video game. That's funny. Anyway. So, Lieutenant Morales. So, if you hit Q, she can use this healing beam. Now, this is her main ability. Redirects healing beam to another target. Use it on itself. Use it on itself to cancel channeling. So, you can toggle between people. Now, what's nice is that when the target's at max health, you're not going to be burning any mana, which is something expected. But you can overheal with other characters and lose mana. With her, you won't. So we got our first level up here, obviously. So safeguard is probably a big thing. So what you can do is you can shield, and you can give them some resistance, 25% for 3 seconds. Now, returning mana expiration is really good. 45 mana out of the 60 mana it costs. That's very nice. You can also increase the duration, but I like to do return mana on expiration because you're going to be using Healing Beam a lot, and there's an ability that you can get for getting, like, another, you can, like, boost and, like, you can get, like, a second safeguard out with a 0 cost of mana. Alright, now I gotta go to the shrine. What I threw there was a concussion grenade, or displacement grenade. It bounces heroes away and stuns them. That's pretty much her only damage ability, and it's her only escape ability, too. And this leads to the biggest problem with Morales. Oh, Jesus. I'm not paying attention. She really doesn't do well on her own at all. She's very dependent on others. Throw a displacement grenade. It doesn't hit. Okay. Now, she doesn't have any... Like, she has one attack. Thank God it's ranged, but it's very weak, as you can see here. Barely taking any damage away. Oh god, heal. Now, you can notice that right now she's doing very well in the group. Like, I'm keeping everyone alive, and the enemy team is doing a lot of damage. Now, this is the opposite when you're doing two-man. You think, oh, two-man team, like, you know, she only heals one person at a time. She can shield one at a time. She's great. She must be great for two-manning. No, she's not, because the damage output is crap. Now, other support characters have some kind of damage output. Lily's really good. surprisingly being this, like, you know, her character would believe, like, oh, it's this cute little panda bear. Oh, that's so cute. She's gonna help heal you out. Maybe do a little tiny bit of damage. Like, no, she does more damage than Morales. This freaking, like, medic. I was gonna say Marine, but this medic from StarCraft 2 who has military training. She's kind of amusing. So, when you do, in teams of 2, she kind of sucks. In fact, she really sucks. She's less helpful than Abathur, and Abathur is very, like, can be very situational and can win games. I'm not saying he's a bad hero. But, like, Abathur is, like, half a hero, and then sometimes 1.5 heroes. Morales is always half a hero. In terms of damage, at least. We're actually not... I'm not really paying attention here, so we have Grand Shield at full health for Bio Shield, Advanced Block, Displacement Grand. I use Grand Shield because you can easily, like, have this on anyone, and, like, again, it doesn't cost mana to overheal. Oh god. Now the other problem is she can very quickly early on. You want to be very careful for that, like right now. Now, she can't self-heal herself with the beam, but she does have a reactor. I'm not even trying to pronounce this. Caduceus? Caduceus? Regenerate 3% of your maximum health every second. I've not taken damage for 4 seconds. So that's pretty good. But it's mainly a mana problem. Now, she's very weak, though, so you gotta be... So that is helpful you know, that is helpful. I'm not gonna just deny, like, oh, it's, like, completely useless. Like, no. Because a lot of people go for the support heroes, especially Morales. You're always going to want to keep someone in front of you and away from you. Now, especially in two-man teams, this can be problematic, especially if you're playing with another support, or an assassin, or a specialist, and not a tank. Now, with a tank, she's a little bit more tolerable when you do two-man teams. The problem is, if you do support, like, you know, the support, or assassin, or specialist, that person's going to be in front of you, right? So, in between, it's going to be in between the two targets, and... those guys don't have a lot of health, depending on the hero. So, they're gonna die quickly, or they're gonna cower away. And the other problem with Morales, I've mentioned this earlier, is the lack of communication that, well, it's really a problem with the game right now. The lack of communication in this game is a huge problem. So, we're gonna do, this is not very a good selection here. So, I'm gonna do clear for the first time. Damage aura is kind of alright. You know, actually, we're going to do damage aura for here because it's a little bit more useful. Damage aura is almost completely worthless. It's very weak, but here it'll do a little bit better because of the map. So, what was I saying about how she's not very good in uncoordinated teams? Well, a lot of heroes aren't, but she in particular, because a lot of her abilities can be very situational. Like her ultimates. Her 2 ultimates are very situational. So she has Stim Drone and Medevac Dropship. So you might have seen Medevac Dropship from the trailer, so I might have been wowed by that. So Stim Drone, you know, grant an allied hero 75% attack speed and 25% movement for 10 seconds. Okay, this is very useful, and I believe it could also heal you later on. Oh, no, you don't, but you can attack fast as well. So here's the problem with Stim Drone. So you cast this on someone, and let's say, because, you know, Morales was just recently released, they don't understand that what they cast on you was just an ultimate, and they just burned it. A lot of people were like, oh, you know, I'm just going to back away now. Like, no, keep fighting, you're fine. I have Stim Drone, and I have a safeguard, and I can heal you. Like people don't coordinate it. Because there's, like, times where, like, you know, there are times where you can retreat, where you wouldn't have that Stim Drone ability, and it's, you know, I recommend it, and I'd be like, thank you for retreating. Because people get mad at you when you just try to push too hard and you die for nothing. The problem here is that Stim Drone is a nice pushing mechanic, and if you just burn your Stim Drone, you give it to someone, and then they back away, and you get pissed off. And it's worse with Medevac. So, actually show you it right now, or maybe in a second. Let's actually show right now. So, calling for retreat. Now everyone knows what to do now, because this is obviously you're supposed to retreat. So with that, what I did was I spawned a medevac, and you can warp not entirely across the map. You have to be at there's a certain distance range, but you summon one, and you have a couple seconds to load up. You can also blast off early. You can use it for retreat like I did there, and actually everyone was, you know, knew what to do. Someone wanted to retreat, well, I let them retreat. So the medevac does have a health bar, but it takes longer for it to die than you would expect. Unless you have a lot of heroes on it, it's not going to die very quickly. Or as in, enemy heroes attacking it, I should say. You can have heroes on it, your own guys. So, yeah, you can load them up and jump across the map. I wish I actually showed you a little bit more there. Very short cooldown too, as you can see right there. Very good for getting the objectives. Now, the problem was when people don't listen. Now, you're never going to be able to stop them, regardless, even if, you know, Blizzard adds voice over IP. But when people don't listen, it's the most frustrating thing because she depends on that. I've lost 5 games in a row as Morales. Out of the 5 games I've played, this one we could actually win because everyone looks like they're on the same page. I'm not even talking right now or telling them anything, and they seem to like just know what to do. Because it's going to be hard for me to type and communicate to them while doing commentary while playing the game. This is how it's going to go for this. Oh no. So, like, one game I had I'm actually glad I didn't show it because I was almost freaking out. I was kind of freaking out. So there's, like, one Demon Hunter player, one player playing Vala, right? The Demon Hunter. And I tell her, like, okay, Val, stay still. We're about to respawn. I'm going to medevac to the top. This is for Dragonshire, so that we can get the, you know, we can get the thing, and then we can meet up with Butcher. Was it Stitches? Whatever. We can meet, or Asmodan. We can meet up with Asmodan, so we'll have 3 people. We'll be right there with Asmodan. And we can help him out immediately. Right? I'm not casting my healing spell to do damage. It's like, and then she just runs away. As soon as I put up the medevac, like, she goes and she doesn't, like, take a different route or anything, like, she had different plans. No, she went exactly where I was going to go with the medevac, except she arrived late, could have assisted them, Asmodan, when we were helping him. Instead, it's like, oh, let's just not listen. And let's just let him die. We could have at least gotten a hero kill with Val's damage output, because again, Morales doesn't do damage. Alright, so this is the 13th ability, or 13th level ability. So, these 2 right here affect mana. So, when Healing Beam is on a single target for over 3 seconds, its healing amount increases by 25% and mana cost increases by 4. And Healing Beam also heals you. So, while channeling Healing Beam, you are healed for 25% of the healing amount at the cost of an additional 4 mana per second. So, yeah. So this is when this activates, it'll increase mana cost, and this will always add mana. So you can maybe have some kind of strategy where you try not to use intensive care, like you can just kind of cancel it, so you don't increase. Like if you're very low on mana, I can kind of see pro players using that in some way. Safeguard can be cast twice. That's what we want. So, my bottom line is that Morales is best played with friends. Or people you can communicate well with. Because until this game adds voice over IP, she's probably the most useless hero that you can do solo queue with. She is awful. But with other people, I've noticed she's a lot better. And in games where people are not idiots, which is a problem in Heroes of the Storm, there's so many stupid people. I've talked about this numerous times. I've actually not gotten this ability. What am I doing? We're actually going to get this because because these others affect my mana pool. And I'd rather not have that, so we're going to get this. So it's going to reduce attack speed against... It's annoying. But yeah, bottom line... like, the Heroes of the Storm player base is... I made videos, I think I'm already repeating myself. I made a video before about when I first tried this game, and I just told you how there's some really stupid people playing this game. Like, this stuff wouldn't happen a lot in Dota 2, although it does. But it doesn't happen nearly as much, the stupidity that happens in these games. It's mainly flamers. Now, if currently she is part of a bundle, you can get her for $13. 15,000 gold, $13 for the bundle, 10,000 gold for 15,000 gold just for the hero, which is annoying. I had to buy her because I didn't have enough gold for launch. Or you can just pay $10 to get her. The $13 bundle comes with a Apothecary skin, which is actually kind of cool. I'll show you that when we're done here. You're gonna kind of notice something. Anyone who plays Warhammer, you're gonna be like, Blizzard or Games Workshop, you should sue someone because it's looks like a Warhammer ripoff. Anyway, Stim Drums was very useful as another ultimate, but I would say Medevac, like Stim Drums, is like can be used for a wide area of reasons or variety of ways, whatever you want. My wording is terrible, as you will find out as you watch more of my videos, but it's pretty useful. Medevac is very situational. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier, I briefly touched on this. In groups, she's great because everyone has high damage output, right? And she doesn't. But you can very easily, like, you know, heal one and shield another guy. And look, I can even shield another person with that free safeguard as long as I cast it within a certain time period. And I can medevac everyone to certain points on the map. It's very useful. Everyone's right here. Everyone can be on page with me. Like, if I want to just retreat and like save everyone's lives because people are pursuing us, I could do that. We probably won't need that here because we're stopping right now. Okay. Time to get out. See how useful it is? Unfortunately, there's a certain amount of time you have before it'll automatically just jump. You can't just hold there forever, which could be a huge problem if people like. I mean, well, there's a launch window, right, where people don't know the new hero. So I can kind of understand that, but you know, when you see this giant medic ship that's friendly, you think to get on it. So at level 20, oh, excuse me, and everyone aboard for 280. So this can heal nearby allies and everyone aboard for 280 health per second. I don't believe that affects anyone when it's like zooming by. But that's very useful, especially if you're actually you might just charge ahead actually with that. You don't have to retreat. It can be very useful. Like say like, oh, we're all kind of at health, but the enemy's like at no health. So we can like charge forward and they're all at their base, right? Now normally like, oh, if we go to their base immediate health, we could probably get slaughtered. But if we go and get healed immediately and then charge over there before they can hit to their healing zone, I forget what this is called, Nexus, whatever. We can kill them all. Again, it's very situational, and again, situational things like that require teamwork, and that's where Morales falls flat. If she did her own set of damage, like she had a good damage output, I would more recommend her. But again, she relies on her teammates more than anything.
I'll take care of it.
And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be repeating myself now, but that is basically the problem. She's potentially a very good hero, but right now she's probably the worst in the game that I've played. And when you're playing, and I do like how we're not limited to something like very situational like medevac dropship. Like there are some levels where medevac wouldn't be as useful, and like, you know, you could probably tell by level 10 that your team is a bunch of idiots and they probably won't listen when it comes to medevac dropshipping, so you can just use stim instead. But then again, that does have the same problem where people are like, oh, should I push? Should I push? I don't know what this ability is. But then again, they are like a lot of idiots are headstrong, so they're thick-skulled, so they'll just rush in and charge. So just stim drone them and heal them up and safeguard them, and it'll work out then. So I guess in that regard, she's not completely horrible when it comes to having idiot teams, but it's still pretty bad. Alright, medevac heals nearby allies. We don't need to do here. There's also a minimum range. You can't just jump a little bit forward. Let's check out the heal here. It's actually doing very well. That's pretty much the range, just letting you know. And that's pretty much it for Morales. It actually ended really nicely. I'm glad it didn't drag on. I pretty much have everything I've said everything I need to say. Yeah. Again, mixed hero. Voice acting's pretty good. Character model's pretty good, as you would expect. Also, Blizzard, sue someone, or Games Workshop, sue someone. What? I keep thinking the same company. Look at this. This looks like some kind of plague marine from Warhammer. Like, Nurgle's gonna slap a bitch. Oh, and there's the master. In case of those who were wondering. Looks nice. Alright, guys, I'll see you next time. I'm out.